rely upon. We the few defiant ones, communicating in higher forms than Viacom. To dialogue before the roar of the riot horn. I wonder on which side of the lines I belong. Lady Liberty, face full of concealer. I'm half master killer and half you master killer. Latrophobia, that's a fear of the healer. Kaepernick is an activist.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Kitchen Table Conversations. How y'all doing this evening? I know y'all slow about coming on, so come on, like and share, guys. We have a dynamic show this evening with some dynamic people. You can see they sitting here. We're gonna introduce them in a minute. So while we taking a pause, we need you to like and share. How's everybody doing this evening? Y'all come on, talk to me real quick. So we can get this show on the road. I should have did it before I even started. Ain't that something? I always be late. How y'all doing today? Everybody on live. It's been a long day. It's a beautiful day outside today. With the weather. I don't know, Pastor God, I just be always behind like this, man. I don't know why I'm so far behind.
You've been doing this too long.
No, right. All right, guys, we're gonna jump right into the conversation in a second. Man, it won't do it right. So let me do a couple commercials, then we're gonna jump right into it. Talented Brown Eyes, guys, go by see Lady Steph, give her a call. You can holler at me, a dope boy, for all your alteration needs, your cup designs, shirt designs, anything like that. Holler at Stephanie Robinson at Talented Brown Eyes. Hit up dope boy myself and we can get you connected. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Go by and see Michelle Cole at the Cole Agency right there on Hoggrove Road. Y'all weren't supposed to see me in the shot. Okay. See me right there on Hoggrove. See her right there on Hoggrove Road, excuse me. For all your insurance needs, life, auto, home, car, all that good stuff. Go by see Michelle Cole right there on Hoggrove Road. If you can't go by there, give her a call 205-946-2150. And also holler at Angela D. I'm still in the shot. Go see Angela D page on Facebook. Encourage. I guarantee you will not be disappointed for all your inspirational needs and inspirational messages, skits, and different things like that. Go by, follow the Encourage page, Angela D, on Facebook. And last but not least, go by Linnell Automotive and holler at that boy Cassius for all your car needs, new and used cars. And his motto is, they don't judge your past, they finance your future. Go by right there on Skyland Boulevard and check him out, 561-6335. All right. Oh, another one. Go get vaccinated, people. Go get your vaccination. I think today was the day to open up for all adults, 18 and older. So go schedule your vaccination wherever you live, whether it's CVS, Walgreens, your local clinic, your local pharmacy, your local hospital, whatever. Go get vaccinated. I got both of my shots. I'm fully vaccinated. Never had no issues. Wasn't sick. None of that. So go get vaccinated, and I guarantee you, you'll thank yourself for it, because COVID is real. Y'all ain't got vaccinated?
No, sir.
Go get your shot. Go get your shot today. Schedule your vaccination. Y'all come on, like and share, guys. Thelma, thanks for coming on. Jasmine, thanks for coming on. Y'all tell all your friends too. This is gonna be a great conversation tonight. We have some dynamic guests on the panel tonight. We're gonna jump right into it. To my right is our first guest, Reverend Tyshawn Gardner from Grove Baptist Church, but he serves as the. Well, you introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, everybody. Tyshawn Gardner, a local pastor here in the city of Tuscaloosa, former president of the Tuscaloosa chapter of the SCLC, but I also currently serve as the vice president for student affairs at Stillman College.
Awesome. And we got Mr. George Warrensley.
Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself, man. I just call your name.
George Warren from Mobile, Alabama.
Now, he ain't from Mobile, y'all. Where you from?
From Princeton, Alabama.
PA, baby. He from
PA. I'm a current student at Stillman College, a junior, going into my senior year.
Oh, what's your major?
Biology.
What? You gonna be a doctor?
I want to be a physical therapist.
Physical therapy. That's cool. My toe hurt, man. Can you help me out?
I got you.
All right, Mr. Ronnie Williams Jr.
My name is Ronnie Williams Jr. I'm from Pritchard, Alabama.
PA. I had to haul all my silverware when they came in.
I'm a business administration major with a concentration in marketing, and I'm currently a junior.
Cool. And Miss Shay.
I'm Shay Johnson from Alexander City, Alabama. I'm the vice president of SGA. I'm a criminal justice major, junior going into the senior.
Awesome. We got some dynamic people on the panel tonight. So we're gonna jump right into it, guys. Our conversation tonight is surrounded around the what's going on with police interaction, especially with the George Floyd murder trial that's taking place right now. Actually, the trial just wrapped up today. Right. And so our conversation is going to be kind of tailored around that, guy, so you can hear from some of our young people how they feel about police interaction and how they feel about actually what's going on when it comes to civil unrest or the I don't want to get in trouble because I got a lot of police officers, friends of mine. Some of the negative police interaction we have in our community. So, first question, guys, y'all can jump right into it, man. Whoever want to answer. First question: how do you feel about the death or the murder of George Floyd? Somebody.
I'll go first. So, I definitely don't like discussing the topic because, I mean, it enrages me. It makes me angry, especially dealing with what our ancestors been through. So, I mean, the solution to the problem is to just keep fighting, because what really motivates me in life, everyday life, any problems that I go through, is just thinking about what our ancestors been through, because they've been through way worse than what we're going through now. And we wouldn't even be in the situation that we are in now, being able to have a voice if it wasn't for them. So the whole situation is totally messed up. I don't see eye to eye with the officer's decision and why he would feel that was correct or even legal or okay to even put his knee in someone's neck. I always think about what if the situation was flipped. What would it be like if it was a black man putting his neck into a white man? Would there even be a trial? He probably would be dead. He probably wouldn't even make it to see a trial. So, I mean, it's just definitely something we just have to keep fighting for our ancestors. The trial is going good right now, so we're definitely moving in the right direction when it comes to that.
You know, anyone of y'all want to touch that before I jump back in there? Go ahead, Shay.
All right, I definitely agree with Ronnie, everything Ronnie said, and I basically say that it's a true example when he said that what if it was vice versa, as in he would have been shot on the scene, like he would have been dead on the spot, as it being a black male. And most of my friends are black males, so I really, feel from what Ronnie was saying about anything about being an African American or black, being a male, coming in contact with a police officer. So I agree.
Another thing, the police are here to protect us, as they say, right? And we don't necessarily feel safe when we see police. Why do we run?
That was gonna be my next question.
Why do we run when we see police? I mean, it shouldn't be like that. We should feel safe when we see police officers. So, I mean, that just should tell a lot right there. Like, just this past weekend, I was at this party. Police came. The police didn't say anything. Everyone just automatically ran because they saw the police. So, I mean, why is that? Why do we run? And majority of the crowd was black. Why do we run when we see police?
That's inherently in us from the times of slavery. First police officers were slave catchers.
Right.
So automatically throughout the years, they morphed into protect and serve, but basically it was protect and serve the owners instead of the people. So that's why we inherently run when we see somebody, a police officer like that. That's crazy that we have to live like that. All y'all probably had the conversation growing up about how to interact with police. Now that y'all are adults now, how does that make you feel that you had to have that conversation? And I know that probably most of your white counterparts, if you have white counterparts, don't have those conversations with their children. How does that make you feel? Go ahead, Shane. Go ahead.
All right. All right, so being from where I'm from Alexander City, small town, country, yeah. So like my high school was like a 6A high school, mainly not African American people. So it was probably mostly like it was like a handful of African American people, as in being my friends, about like 10 or so. So by having our parents,
I'm sorry, is that Silicaga?
No, that's like 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Away, those like right on the same. But being that my classmates were not the same color as me, majority of my classmates were not the same color as me. I felt like that we were at first like at the low of the class. So by us going up and going further into class and school, like we had to prove our point. So I feel like we shouldn't have to prove our point by the color of our skin to be where we want to be. So like I really think that by my mom or my dad talk to me about the police or if I get pulled over, what to do. I feel like that should not be in the childhood of a Black African American. I feel like that should be taught to everybody, and not just only to me, or not just only to my friends or my cousins or my sisters or my brothers. I feel like that should be in every household, not just automatically African American. What if I got a white friend sitting in the passenger seat? Then how you think it would go then? So you never know.
Yeah, and being from Pritchard, my wife family is from that area. Bellside Avenue over by Bishop State, they from that area. And I've seen a lot of police interaction, but being from Pritchard, very impoverished area, low median income. How did your interaction with police frame your mindset about law enforcement? Not saying that y'all had a lot, but I know the area.
Right.
I know the area.
So growing up as a kid, I was taught just to get respect when it was due, and I was taught to treat others how I wanted to be treated. And in Pritchard, it's not really a great area to live in, so it's a lot of crimes and a lot of bad things going on. So I saw the police a lot. I never had just really too many interactions growing up as a kid because of my parenting. My parents raised me up well, so I didn't really get into many altercations with the police. But my brother and my family members, they have. So, I mean, just seeing them get in trouble and being bullied, I say, by the police, even when they weren't even wrong.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just because they was in that part of the city. Half of the time, we weren't even doing anything wrong. They just saw a group of Black people. And they just assumed like, hey, no, something's going on. So they would just break it up for no reason. And that would cause an altercation within itself. Just because they coming to mess with them and they're not even doing anything wrong. They're just together having fun. Something similar as a cookout in the neighborhood. The police don't like that. They didn't like seeing a group of Black folks come together and have fun. They just automatically assume that they were doing something wrong or up to something nothing good. So
yeah, and I say, growing up, I had good parents. So my mom, she always took me out of the hood to go to school, out of the hood to play sports or whatever. So I never dealt with the police interactions either myself. I always would see my uncle, though. I had an uncle that he got into with the police a lot. And it would be because of, he was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, or either he was just chilling in the hood. So I say growing up, I did see the police a lot from him, or either going to see him in jail, for probably something he didn't even do. He was just chilling at the gas station. We couldn't even, it's a gas station on our block, We can't even just sit out there and just have the radio playing and that. It's a problem. But I haven't had police interactions myself.
So with those instances, I'm gonna get back to you. With those instances we had growing up, maybe not personally, but we've seen our family members, has that shaped your thought about law enforcement now? Finna be a college graduates, finna go out into the professional world, and you're gonna be driving and maybe in some spots that normally some of us might not be in. Has that shaped your mindset when it comes to the law enforcement officer?
I say it has shaped my mindset, but being pulled over, you still have to. It goes back to what he said. Respect is, giving. You got to give respect to get respect.
You don't think George Floyd gave respect? Oh, I'm finna get mad. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You got to give respect to get respect, and I just feel like me personally, even though it has, made a difference.
I'm good. No, it was something like a net.
Ain't no gnats in my studio, man. What's wrong with you? No, go ahead. I'm sorry. You better get put out.
Like, even though it has made a difference with my mindset, I would do, I'll have to go back to being, respectful just so it wouldn't happen to me, or try, to prevent it happening to me. In a sense.
I definitely feel like the same way I felt when I was a child. I'm just a different age and more mature now, but I feel like nothing hasn't changed with the police officers. Yeah, wow. I feel they still have the same mindset of just they say they want to protect and serve us, but we don't feel that's the case. It feels as if they want to hurt us. And I definitely still had the same mindset when I was young. I don't want to say I don't like the police, but I don't agree with the actions that they do pursue at times.
All right. Now that I'm majoring in criminal justice, when I was growing up, 3 of my uncles are police officers in the area where I grew up from. And I was thinking, okay, every time I would see them in uniform or something like that, because they was always built, they was always fit. And while coming up in high school, I was fit. So I was like, okay, well, I can just keep going with this lifestyle. So I really know what I was going to major in. So I just picked the first thing that came to mind from what I saw, like every day growing up, because I saw my uncles every day and they was in police uniform or whatever. So I was like, okay, that might come easy. So now that I started in college in 2018. And over the years, like 2019 to now to present, it just went backwards for me. So like every day or every semester, I'd be like, am I really gonna finish school in criminal justice? So I went to my advisor and I talked to him, and he gave me like really good pointers to where I could still help people and not look like the bad person from our community, like from the African American community, that I'm a police officer. Because as by being that police officers are on African American necks, like from 2019 to present to now. So it made me feel like, okay, where can I go with my degree? So I mean, not now that I think about it, like now as I am an adult or whatever, that I think that it should just change. And I don't know, like as I see women police officers, yeah, I think, okay, cool, I never seen them like in a situation to where I seen a man and a male with African American. I never seen a lady or a woman that's being put in that predicament like right now. So I'm thinking to myself, like, how can I make the change? So right now, I feel like we do need a change, and it might be from African Americans to make the change. So so like that's why I'm proud of myself to keep going to the degree that I'm in now, because if not, now if I would just been looking at 2019, 2020, like anybody else would have turned around and been like, yeah, nah. So why would I waste 3 years of criminal justice to do nothing?
And another thing, like what George said, he said his mom wanted him to go to these white schools growing up. So I mean, because they were smarter than us, as they say. But my mom wanted me to go to those schools like that too, in the private schools. But I told my mom, like, no, I want to go to the school with my people, because I can get that same education at a black school. And I proved that to her. I went to Viger High School, which is in Pritchard.
Oh yeah,
and
Wolverine.
I came out on top, and I proved to her that the same education that those folks got at McGill, all of those predominantly white schools, we got the same degree. And some of those students who graduated from that are probably not even in college.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean,
just basically saying it don't really matter where you come from, where you finish.
Right.
It don't matter where you come from. So with that being said, we had this big thing in the last couple of years, and I'm gonna start with you, Pastor Gardner, Dr. Gardner. I'm sorry, Pastor Doctor. He got 15 different titles, man. Dr. Gardner, defund the police. We heard that all last year, all 2020. Defund the police. Defund the police. What does defund the police look like to you?
Yeah. Well, to me, defunding the police system, it means redirecting or reappropriating the funds that we allocate towards policing. So we know that just here last summer, our city spent a mammoth amount of money on weapons to renew or to upgrade the weapons. And the conversation is, could those funds and resources be better appropriated through hiring social services, social workers, other services, rather than putting that into more militarization? And so we don't ever want to militarize police. We don't ever want to see our communities look like war zones where we have tanks. And we are well aware that some of these armored vehicles are not so much purchased by municipalities, but given to these cities by our government, right? But even with that, when you militarize these the police, and when we go into these communities, it sends a message. It sends a very negative message, right? And so we defunding police to some means a total eradication of policing as we know it. And I want to say something about that, because whenever we think of that, right, immediately we say that's crazy, that's illogical. We need police. But think about what you said. There was a time when society didn't have police, right? So this policing started somewhere. So as Angela Davis would say, that she imagines a society without prisons. Now that's hard for us to conceive because we've lived in that reality for so long. But I think improvements and the evolvement of societies, humanizing societies, all has come as a result of how we're willing to reimagine, okay? But if you take people, leaders who say, no, this is the way we've always done it, you gotta have police, and if they cut that conversation off, it's hard for us to imagine a society where there are fewer prisons, where police precincts or departments are smaller. One other thing I want to say to this: the people who are opponents of defunding the police, they have no problem defunding education. They have no problem shutting down rural hospitals, right? But it's only the police budgets that they are non-negotiable. So when we talk about reallocating these resources, well, these same people that want to give more millions and billions of dollars to police forces, they will shut down a hospital in a second. They will cut funding to schools in a second. So I think we need more resources that can better serve these communities. Some police officers don't have the training to respond to some of the calls that they get, and that's unfair to them. We do indeed have some incredible officers. I would even venture to say the times that I have interacted with the police have, even when it resulted in a ticket, they have been more positive interactions than they have negative, although I have had some negative interactions. But when I think of the police that get called on someone that has mental issues or even drug issues, perhaps a mental service, a mental health provider would be better and more effective in that than someone else. So defunding police means looking at the way cities spend their money and saying, you know what, we need less weapons and more services like health and education, social services to help these communities. That's what defund means to me.
Anybody else want to touch that?
You pretty much said that.
I think defund the police is really about a mindset, because I've talked to police chief here in Tuscaloosa, former and the one we have now, talked about We talked about having the more of protecting than policing. We protect one community and police the other community.
That's right, right.
So we got to have an equal. If we're gonna have 25 cop cars on the west side, I need 25 cop cars on the north side too.
Right.
So I think it goes hand in hand. That's why I love the state, the word defund the police, because like I said, we need more social services instead of 10 cops showing up on the scene. Let's have one cop and a social worker,
right,
or mental health professional, or domestic violence professional, or something like that.
Conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution, or something like that.
When you look at the hot spots, even in our cities, what does it look now? Again, this takes imagination.
We're gonna get to you there. We got police officers.
It takes imagination from the mayor, from city councilmen, from district attorneys, and too many times we're either lazy in our thinking, narrow-minded, or we have some vested financial interest that does not allow us.
That's the bigger problem.
To imagine,
that's
right?
That's the bigger problem.
So what would it look like if we had conflict resolution centers, more specialized schools in some of the areas where we are seeing a lot of the crime? You know, because let's be honest, when the crime happens, me and you and the police, we're reacting to it. It's already happened. We got to get ahead of it.
Come on, Darryl, we got you. You on with Kids Table Conversation.
Great show, man. Great show. Enjoying the conversation you have with the students. And I want to say hello to Dr. Gardner. How you doing, sir?
Good, my friend. Good to hear you. Blessings to you and your wife.
Good, thank you. I just want to comment to the young lady, which I see there's a great demand for African American young ladies to become police officers. And I think she said three of her uncles were in law enforcement. So I wanted to encourage her to be a part of it. Matter of fact, I want to encourage all of the young people to be a part of it, because if there's no African American applicants, then how can we have people to police us that don't look like us?
Right.
And defunding the police. Being a law enforcement officer 31 years, I would just say we gotta get. I'm not for taking funding from police. Period. I mean, they already underpaid. They're underpaid. The training is needed. More training is needed, but sometimes I say this from my point of view: you can't train common sense.
Right.
You know, some people could be bookworms and pass every test there is relating to how to do something relating to law enforcement. But when it comes down to interviewing or questioning a simple question, simple direction or something, they just can't comprehend that part of it. Remember, the requirements of most police departments is having at least a GED. They do, they would probably say if you had a college degree, they would, prefer you to get more. But agencies don't even pay more money for having a college degree than you do a GED. So there's that lack of education, I guess, on that. But I'm not going to say every police officer that has a degree makes the best degree. I'm not going to say every police officer that's been in the military will make the best police officer either. I think it's just individuals. Each individual person that's involved in law enforcement needs to be just continued training efforts.
Now, Darryl, you said you're not in favor of defunding the police, taking money allocated, but how many MRAPs do the police department need? How many APCs do the police department need? That's millions of dollars right there could be allocated in other ways and other resources. Not necessarily taken from the training, because they need more training, need way more training. I think police academy should be about 2 years long. They be able to go out here and deal with the community instead of you go. I went to basic training to be a truck driver alone in the police academy.
Yes.
Sir?
I said, yes, we both agree with that. 24 months rather than 12 weeks.
Exactly. I went to basic training in truck driver school alone and do that in the military. So it's the point I'm saying is how many more MRAPs and APCs and AR-15s and SWAT units and all that stuff that we really need before we really start tackling issues that's depleting our communities every day, that's embedded in our communities every day. Let me say that. Dealing with mental health issues, dealing with domestic violence issues, dealing with suicide, all kind of stuff. And we can be
I'm just saying,
touching on that
are you going to take from, like you said, domestic violence? Okay, are you going to take from your police department that got to respond to domestic call to educate the community when the community won't participate in the education about domestic violence?
It's not the incident of domestic violence we're worried about, because people gonna be people. But what I'm worried about is that officers showing up on the scene that's ill informed, first of all, and ill prepared to handle that domestic violence incident. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, the education, the continued education and training is what that is entails.
And locally here, not to cut you off there, but locally here, I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere in the last few weeks that it's once a year, only 6 hours or 8 hours of training once a year.
No. Well, okay. I can only speak to TPD. No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I think Daryl also with that is,
and we ain't jumping on you, man. I'm just having a conversation.
No, and I want to get back to these students.
Yeah,
but I think the issue is getting ahead of those domestic violence. So when there is domestic violence, again, that stems from somewhere, whether it's a behavior issue, drugs, mental illnesses. And what I am suggesting is that we invest money into community flourishing. So for instance, why is it that you don't have these issues in some parts of Tuscaloosa, and you do have them in others? Could it be that other areas where you are seeing less crime, less violence, look at those schools, look at the social economics in those families, look at parks and recreation. So you compare what's going on in West Tuscaloosa and the lack of green space, the lack of parks, and you go on Watermelon Road. See, those are the things that communities need to mitigate and stop things like domestic violence. So when a child grows up in a flourishing school, when a child grows up in a neighborhood where there are sidewalks and lights and things to do that allows them to be children, then you have no need for all of this militarization. So if we could throw more money into it, and it becomes a bottomless pit, right? We can throw billions more dollars to try to combat reacting to domestic violence. But what we have to do is create a better society, and by building the programs and flourishing communities so that there is less domestic violence, less drug use. Those are the things I want to advocate for.
Yeah. And we went right left with that. Darryl, you got last comments, man?
No, that's fine. I just think a lot of times money is misappropriated to other agencies that it needs to be done. You know, sometimes we put more into things that we find to be important for parks and recreations and stadiums and stuff like that. But at the same time, I just can't see taking away funding from law enforcement, because training costs money. It costs money to train people to do what we're asking the law enforcement officers to do, and that is be able to handle a domestic violence call, to make a great, a better decision than they've been have or have. But it goes a long way. But I think it's a good show, Rodney. Good to see the students involved. And once again, young lady, I still, hey, I'm pulling for you to come on and join one of your local for law enforcement agencies around the time. All right, thank you, man.
We gotta introduce her to you, Daryl.
Okay, yes, I'd be glad to talk to her.
All right.
It's more into just being a police officer. I mean, you talk about your future, your retirement, you're living, how to live, and different stuff like that, providing for your family and stuff. But we'll talk about that some other time.
Yes, sir. Look at the comments there, and you and T. McGill can chop it up on that. What he talking about?
Okay.
All right. All right, yeah, that was a good call. Thanks for calling, Daryl. Let's jump right back into it, because I know we went way left with it, because I like to talk, and I know Pastor Garden love to talk. But next question. Now, before we came on the show, I told y'all about the Pledge of Allegiance. We talked about the Pledge of Allegiance, and the last line in the Pledge of Allegiance is liberty and justice for all. What does that mean to you?
Me personally, I don't really like the last sentence, because I feel like in the society that we're living in now, it's more, it's like we all living in a different justice system, like depending on your race or whatever. Yeah. I feel like I've seen a couple times, just being on probably Facebook or anything, you'll see where they'll have two of the same two people that got arrested for the same thing. One being Caucasian and one being African American. And the African American has a way different sentence than the Caucasian person. So I just feel like justice for all isn't as, it should be justice for some that they gon'. That's how I feel.
That's real talk, right?
We definitely don't stand on it. Liberty and justice for all, because of what's going on now. Us Black people, we aren't treated the same, and I feel we don't have the same freedom and right of white people. And it's proof, and it's evidence now. Everything that we go through now. We may be some of the strongest people on this earth because of what we go through each and every day. Those other folks don't have to go through what we go through. We're being judged constantly every day. We have to watch what we do, and we can't live just stress free, because there's always going to be something. If it's a law enforcement in that area, we know, like, hey, we got to chill out now. We can't be doing too much playing. They're gonna say something to us. So I mean, liberty and justice for all is not something that we stand on. I feel like the system is built for us to lose. Yeah. It's built for us not to be on top. And I feel like when you try to decode the system, either you're gonna be in jail or you're gonna die. Yeah. And all we can do is just keep fighting for our ancestors, like I said earlier, and just try to find a solution to the problem.
I agree with Ron George. It's just a false statement. Like, to me, the last three words is just a false statement. And like George said, it should be justice for some, because you're not gonna give it all, just make it look good and sound good. Yeah. That's the only thing it is, looking good and sounding good. Because I mean, my people gotta be scared. Then it's not justice. It's not equal. We fought for equality, but you wrote it down, yeah. But we said we pledged it, but it ain't there. Thank you.
So how does that make you, y'all juniors and seniors in college, going to graduate in the next 2 years, going to go out in the workforce, going to start families and all that kind of stuff? How does that make you feel about your future? If that simple statement right there is non-existent to us, how does that make you feel about your future?
I'm scared. Yeah. I feel like I'm terrified. The last couple of weeks have been like really on my mind, because I'm thinking, like, at first coming into January, I did have an internship. So it's like, okay, we speeding on up. It's about to be time. Seniors about to graduate. It's time for the summer classes. Next fall is right around the corner. So what is it for me to do? So, but like I said about me, majoring in criminal justice, it still made me scared and terrified because I don't know which way to go. So when eventually, yeah, it'll come. I gotta figure it out what I want to do. But as law enforcement moving right now, it's not looking too good.
I mean, I wouldn't just necessarily say I'm scared. I mean, I'm determined because I mean, I'm ready to fight for change. Like I said, our ancestors, that's my motivation. They went through way worse. We're not going through that now. They changed a lot. So being the fact that we aren't going through what they went through, or as worse as what they went through, we are going through what they went through, but it's just not as worse. Believe it or not, we're still going through slavery. We just don't see it. It just doesn't look like it.
Mental slavery.
Right. So I mean, my parents definitely instilled in me that being great and being determined and just believing and having faith that I can make it. So I'm definitely determined after school. I'm not necessarily scared. I'm not scared of the police. It's just we got to keep fighting. That's it, and that's all I have to say. That we got to keep fighting. That's all it is to it.
I feel like, as Ryan said, we shouldn't be scared, but I feel like as a black male, we have to do so much, or not just black male, black females too. We got to do so much to be successful in today's society. So knowing that and being a junior in college, not necessarily, you know you're gonna get a degree, but not necessarily knowing like what I'm about to do with this degree, or not knowing your next step can be very difficult. You know what I'm saying? But also, I've been thinking about lately, what about the future? Like, do I want to bring kids up in this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
in this world.
Yeah, do I want to have a child and have them come up? Because it's looking like it's not getting better, it's only getting worse. So I'm all for a change too, but I do, that does ponder on my mind a lot. Do I want to have a child and upbring somebody else into this that we living in today?
It just comes with determination. Believe it or not, they're scared of us. They think we're gonna do something to them. That's why they shoot us. They scared of us. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I don't know why they scared of us, but maybe it's because how we look. But the reason they're killing us and fighting us and putting us in jail because they're scared of us. They feel that we are the problem. But we all just need to come together. First, it starts with us. We're the younger generation. All the older folks, they going to jail. So I mean, we just gotta fight for what's right and just keep pushing that motive and just staying determined and having faith.
Pastor Gardner, you being a college VP and working with students matriculating through college, what mindset have you seen when it comes to after college with our students?
Yeah, I think
about society as a whole.
Right. Yeah. I think what these students have just articulated is a direct reflection of what we're seeing. At Stillman, we have the motto that we are preparing you for a different world. So we see students like this coming in, already good kids. We have some great kids at Stillman. They matriculate and they develop these strong convictions, as you're hearing now. And they are world changers. They do go out in their various cities or wherever they find employment, and they do make a difference because that's what we instill in them. I do think, as Shay said, that they're concerned. So, but these are concerns that they don't develop after they graduate. But what she said when she said, I'm afraid, she didn't mean like the kind of shivering in her boots, but concerned about where this is going, right? Ronnie talked about being determined. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing students who graduate from Stillman ready to go out, make an impact, and bring change to some of the things that we're seeing.
That's powerful. I commend you guys for coming on and just to hear that passion in your voice and Ryan, the passion that you have. And you always talk about your ancestors, how you want to make them proud. And we got to do what they wanted us to do, and that's so powerful. And Shay, you want to make change from the inside out. And then you with your convictions about, hey man, I don't know, do I really want to bring a family up in this world? Those are some powerful statements. So out there, Facebook land, YouTube, where I hope y'all listening to these young people, because this just is a micro fraction of the students we have, not only at Stillman, Shelton, UA, Auburn, everywhere, that these young adults coming up, and that's the way they feel. So I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening. Last question, guys. What can be done different to help, not only with our interaction with police, but our interaction with white society? I'm just gonna go and say it. I don't want to get into about the word, please don't beat me up. But interaction with white society, because that's basically what we living in. So what can we do different?
I feel like
What can you do different? What can be done different? Yeah.
I feel like what can be done different is the levels of respect. They might say they might have respect for African Americans, but they really don't.
Mm-hmm.
They can treat you he, kiki, and all that in your face when you see him and this and that, but soon as you turn around, you turn back. Oh yeah, like that. But you feel me? Like it's always something. Like it's okay. I feel like it happened with them first. Like it's always something with a white person. To me, like growing up with them, they're not all good, perfect. What you see on the outside, they got a lot going on, and that's big to me because that's where I grew up from. And I know I shouldn't be like that right now by me growing up with them for 13 years, will be 13 years, and I feel like they are the problem. And I really feel that they are a problem.
Right.
Not some, but all are a problem. They create a problem in their head to where it starts to show outside.
Right.
So it makes us feel like, oh well, he got another story than I do, so they're gonna take his story first. So I really feel like it's a problem.
I feel like I like to piggyback on what Shay said. I feel like that they do have a lot of problems going on in life, and the way that they try to deal with their problems is by belittling us as, you know, black males and black females. I feel like, even though it's sad to say that, I feel like getting pulled over, you know, just dealing with them on a regular, we should just, even though we have it in the back of our head, you know, we want justice for George Floyd and all that, you know, we want to be on the round page, but we have to remain composed so that doesn't happen to us. Show them the respect, you know, go through the right things to do while you getting pulled over, so that won't happen to you in those situations.
So we need to really fight from the inside out. We need to do what's right. We need to really interact with our counterparts and really know how they feel about us, so we can know how to play through our day. That doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
But that we would have to do that. But I'm glad y'all brought that out. I'm really glad. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Ronnie something. So when this verdict comes out tomorrow, Wednesday, probably Wednesday, Thursday, two things. If it is not guilty, disappointing, how would that make you feel? And what will you all do what kind of reaction will you have? And how will you influence your fraternities, your friends, your residence hall to react? And how do you get involved? How do you get involved right now, especially as it relates to this verdict?
Well, all of us here now, we are all student leaders on campus, so we definitely have a voice, and we have an influence on majority of the campus. So with me being a head residential assistant of the male dormitory hall, if it comes back bad, the problem is that when we protest as black people, I agree with protesting, but it should be it shouldn't be no
unrest. Yeah.
Right, like
looting,
all of that. Yeah, it should be a peaceful
protest.
So I mean, I would definitely try to create a movement to where we protest, but make it a peaceful protest. I would get all of the Greeks together, all of the males on the dormitories, all of the females in the dormitory, get everyone together, and we can have a peaceful protest. We can go to the Capitol, do something like that and whatnot. Just letting our voice be heard, pretty much letting them know how we feel. And with us being college students, I feel we'll have more of a bigger impact with us being younger adults and with us not being older. It'll mean more. It should mean more with us being younger, and they should know like, hey, well, this isn't right, and this should be a change. They should know that we're mad too, not only our parents, but we are mad. Like, and that's about it.
Any last comments, guys? Our time has run out. So, any last comments? Okay. Thank you guys for coming on. Shay, Ron, and George, Dr. Gardner.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all for coming on. And man, keep up the good fight. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being leaders on campus. And I'll say this, that your future is bright. It might seem a little dim, but if you keep putting your little piece in it, it'll get brighter and brighter every day. So keep on doing what you're doing. I'm proud of each and every one of you all. And thank you all for coming on. Thank you, Dr. Gardner, for coming on. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you.
Dr. Warwick, we thank you. We appreciate you for connecting us with your students and your staff and faculty. And we're going to keep on supporting Stillman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I can just get past this one class.
Enroll in Stillman College.
Enroll in Stillman. Oh, okay. Let me put the list on there. Go ahead and talk about Stillman College real quick.
Listen, we are taking applications. Please go to the Stillman website, apply. We are preparing you for a different world. This is going to be a semester like no other. We're back in person. Spread the word to your family members in Marengo County, Hale County, Pickens County, Lamar, Fayette, Tuscaloosa. Come and be a part of this movement that's Stillman College. We are on a trajectory to be one of the top HBCUs, not in the state, but in the country.
That's right.
You want to be a part of it. So come on and let us prepare you to be a different world, to change our world different from the way it is now.
That's awesome. Thank you, man. Thank y'all for coming on Watch Kids Table Conversations. We'll see you Friday, Man Talk, 11 o'clock with Doughboy and myself. Y'all be easy, be blessed. We love y'all. See you soon. Y'all want to say what you want to say?